Welcome back, Watchmen. Let's analyze. The 10th season continues with a battle between Earth and Iron. The chart bled today, but the structure remains intact, reinforcing a floor that refuses to crumble. Pre-market opened around 70 cents, holding flat through the long hours of the morn until a slow ascent began shortly before dawn. The opening bell rang, with the price sitting at 71.5 cents, maintaining the slight upward trajectory. This advance was short-lived, however, as a rejection from 72.5 in the first minutes of the session forced a retreat. Buyers mounted a defense just above the 70-cent mark in mid-morning, sparking an intense climb that reached the day's high of 73 cents. Heavy resistance was met there, which triggered a choppy decline that lasted into the afternoon. As the day began to wane, price found support at the day's low of 68.5 cents, initiating a very weak climb into the close. The session ended at 69 cents. The company has announced a strategic partnership with AgSensor to tokenize soil health data. This alliance aims to digitize agricultural assets, integrating organic data into the digital ledger and providing farmers with the possibility of additional streams of revenue. While this news is foundational, the market's response remains measured as the new ecosystem takes root. The higher low was held, but the volume is very thin. We must continue to watch the ground for signs of growth. Now, let us go to the window to view the battlefield. Alright, here on the daily we can see the high and low arrow that I had drawn yesterday, and this red candle did not break the structure. We're still on our way to 80 cents. We might have a little bit of problem with the 75 level, but we did not form a new low, and even though it was red, we did form a new high. Still fighting with the 50-day MA, but we're still moving in the right direction, as hard as that may be to believe. Let's go ahead and dive a little deeper to the hourly. Let's get this out of the way. Let's dive deeper to the hourly, and we can see that we did break the 69 floor from yesterday, but not by much, and we rebounded. So we closed right at that floor that we had yesterday. We should, I really want to see this MA in the dust. If we look at, let's back this out a little bit, we can see up here, let's reset this. We can see up here that the 100-day has crossed under the dollar mark. It's sitting at 96.5, right under 97 cents. It's going to keep falling down. Pretty soon we'll have a crossover if we can continue some of this upward momentum. We really need to break this 75 level right here. This is a thorn in our side. We need to get rid of it. I think it's coming. It's just not coming fast enough. Let's get rid of this. Alright, now given that, let's go ahead and honor the candle of the day. Today's victor is going to be Daddy Longlegs here, as the lady would say, the big tall giraffe that stood up for everybody. Let's go ahead and put a big circle around him here. This guy. Very nice volume in this candle. Shot us up towards the heavens, but it was rejected shortly thereafter at the 73 line. Well, regardless, that's some pretty good work you put in there, considering the day that we had. So, kudos to you. Alright, now let's go ahead and back out and look at our forecast for tomorrow. I'm hoping that we will repeat our pattern of delayed reaction to the news, and that we will see something that closes us up around this 73 level. Hopefully we can break the 73 and maybe get to 74. But first, I do believe still that we're going to see, we might see some action here at this in this demand zone. We're going to probably do something like this, drop down here, and then have us a little bounce, maybe fight with the MA, and then come up here and fight with this 73 resistance. But this is my guess for tomorrow. Yesterday's guess was something that we were going to drop and then bounce up here, and it just really didn't finish. So I'm going to go ahead and say that tomorrow will finish with my prediction from yesterday. Let's get rid of this. And that's what I think it's going to look like. Now, we got some interesting things going on across the ocean in the foreign lands, so let's look at that. Sidus is still flying around in space. You know, that's what they do. They got to pull back eventually. Let's look at the daily to see this. They still have no real pullback. Still looking at a straight line up. So eventually, if we put a fib retracement on this, you can see that this zone right here is sitting right at the halfway mark, right at the 0.68 level. This is prime real estate for a target to bounce down to. We'll see if tomorrow starts to downfall, that we can get in on a good position there. Alright, now we can move to XCF, SafeX. They started to drop, and we'll zoom in a second, but started to drop right into this demand zone that I said I wasn't going to take. And extend this and this. And now if we zoom into the hourly, we can see that it did hit and it did bounce, but it was not strong at all. There was no strong reaction out of this. That leads me to believe that tomorrow is going to break this zone. Now, ideally, what we'll see is a test of the demand down here and a nice little reactionary bounce, and we'll come up here at least to the first take profit, if not the second. But you know, time will tell. Let's see. Now we can move to Fuse, which is still kind of putting around here in the $1.80 level. Didn't quite drop, but it didn't go anywhere either. So we're expecting that to do pretty much the same thing. We'll probably get a drop here and a bounce off of this MA with an entry, and then ideally again we'll see one or two of those profit targets hit. But again, I always say time will tell. We'll have to see. Now, today's entry is SNAL Incorporated. These are the guys that, this is a video game company. They produce, these are the guys that run Ark. If any gamers out there play Ark, Survival Evolved, these are the guys that run that. And you can see here, this is a very nice looking setup now. I'm really looking forward to this one. We'll see, almost got the full retracement here, and in fact let's put the fib on that. Put the fib there, and this entry sits right in this little zone right here. This is perfect. It's exactly what I look for. So tomorrow hopefully we'll get a little dip in the pre-market and a trigger on that order, and then we'll get another little bounce. Well, you know, it's possible that it might not do too much. At least hopefully hit this first profit target. We can move the stop up to break even. Alright, and that's going to conclude that. So we can go have a look at the ledger and see that I have included SNAL in the list with my profit targets and my position size. I set my order for 264 shares, which is going to cost me almost 240, and then with my risking $50, $49, So this one will allow me, if this one's triggered, it will still allow fuse and possibly safex to trigger as well. But I'm going to have to put a stop on Sidus if any of these other orders get triggered. We'll just have to see. Tomorrow's another day. I wish I could see the future, you know, and we could all be rolling in the dough, but, you know, nobody really can. So it's all just mathematical guesswork. Alright, now with all that being said, we're approaching the weekend where we're going to do our bestiary entry on TA indicators, moving averages, RSI, MACD, all those kind of cool things. Teach some of you guys how to read those, how to use those. You can maybe integrate them into your own trading strategy. You know, they work for some people, and I personally don't prefer to use most of them, but they do have their uses. We'll just have to, I'll lay them out for you guys, and then you can make your own decision. Alright, go ahead and remember to smash that like button. Ring the closing bell to subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow and check out the progress on the foreign lands. And until the end of all things, the Night Watch stands forever.